Hey, it's Gabe with API Nation. Today I'm going to show you how you can connect kvCORE to LeadConnector so you can sync your leads right into your database. It's super easy to set up. It's going to improve your speed to lead and make sure everybody gets followed up immediately. Let me show you how. First step is to go to apination.com. You'll see a button that says Discover Connections. So I'm going to click that. You're going to see a ton of different apps here, marketing apps, productivity apps, real estate apps. I'm going to scroll down until I get to kvCORE and click on that. And that's going to show me the apps I can sync directly with kvCORE, including LeadConnector. There it is. And you can see I have two syncs available with LeadConnector. I can send leads to LeadConnector, and I can have LeadConnector send leads out to kvCORE. I'm going to start with kvCORE into LeadConnector. There's a flat rate here for the connection, but that covers all these syncs on this page. You can set up one, both. You can set up all of these multiple times with different rules. All of it is the same one flat price. Let's activate this sync. Step one is to sign into your API Nation account or create an API Nation account. I'm going to go ahead and sign in with my Google, which I can do also by clicking this Google button and choosing my Google account. After I do that, I'm going to connect kvCORE. Very simple. If you're signed into kvCORE on the browser, it's just going to sign you right in and ask you to authorize the connection. Very similar thing with LeadConnector. I'm going to hit connect. It's going to take me out to the connection here, and I can choose the account I want to connect to kvCORE. Looks good. So now that account is available, so I'm going to select it. Great. So now we're going to create our sync. There's a couple options here. Sync all contacts on first run. That's going to send everybody from kvCORE that matches these filters into LeadConnector. I'm going to go ahead and leave that off, and that means only people who I add from today going forward will get sent to LeadConnector. You can do it either way, totally up to you. If you're trying to get LeadConnector all caught up, if you're trying to get your database all caught up with people who are in kvCORE, check the box. You can also filter by buyer, seller, renter, vendor, and agent, any combination of those, or you can just send over everybody. Similar thing with the source filter. You can go ahead and filter by source. So if they came over from Google, Facebook ads, Zillow, Redfin, any of that, you can choose them here, or just leave it empty or select all. Finally, when you're considering leads coming into your database through LeadConnector, if they already exist, do you want kvCORE to overwrite that information, or would you prefer to leave that alone and have kvCORE just fill in the blanks? I'm going to have it leave it alone and just fill in the blanks. I'm going to check that box and hit subscribe. This is going to create the sync. We're going to go over it one more time before we activate it using this big button at the top. So all this stuff is the same. This all looks great. If I wanted, I could use this filter here to filter it even further. So for example, maybe I only want to send somebody from certain zips, or maybe I want to use the tags in kvCORE to only send people that way. I could do that. I could say, let's tag people. Tag contains sync. And then I can just tag people with sync in kvCORE, knowing they'll get synced over to my database. I'm going to clear that out for now, but that is definitely an option. All right, and the last thing is the mapping. So you can see we do most of this for you. First name, last name, email, phone. If there's anything else you want to add, for example, source, you can hit the plus sign and then just search through the kvCORE fields here, or even just search for it here. So lead origin, that'll work for me. That's a great source. I'm going to come on down, and all of this looks great. I'm going to go to the top and activate this sync. So there we go. I now have a kvCORE to LeadConnector sync set up. Now let's set up the second half of this. I'm going to click the kvCORE logo to go back to the kvCORE syncs. Choose LeadConnector again. And this time, instead of choosing kvCORE to LeadConnector, we're going the opposite direction. I'm going to activate that sync. Select these accounts. We've already connected them in that last setup. Again, I'm going to choose if I want to send everybody from my LeadConnector, this database, into kvCORE, if I only want to start sending them over today going forward. And then again, if there's duplicates, do I want to overwrite kvCORE, or would I prefer to just fill in the blanks? I'm going to just fill in the blanks on kvCORE here. Subscribe. One final check. Double check the mapping. Everything should look good. I'm going to go ahead and add the cell phone here. Search for phone, mobile phone. I'm just going to add phone there. That looks good. Notes. A nice thing about these mapping features is you can put more than one field in there. So for example, maybe I want to put time zone. And I also want to put something like ID. I could do that. Not only will I put the dynamic field in, but I can type a little static text, a little string here that's always going to show up. Let me give you a little preview of what it'll look like. It'll say time zone, and then the time zone, ID, and then the ID. That's what I've written out here. This looks good. I'm going to go to the top and activate this sync. All right, and if I go to my syncs, I can now see I have 2 syncs running. They're up and active. kvCORE into LeadConnector and LeadConnector to kvCORE. So that's it. That's how you connect kvCORE and LeadConnector. You can share the contacts across these 2 databases. Follow up immediately because the contacts are always where you need them to be, and create more deals. If you have any questions or need any assistance, give us a phone call, shoot us an email. We're API Nation, connecting the world's applications. We love doing this stuff.